This is just to let you know there's more than one way that you can check in on the different types of degree of fuckery we get into. You can go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, or just watch us on YouTube or Rumble. Don't forget to like, share, and comment where you can, or just leave 5 stars on Apple Podcast. We thrive on things like absolution from our audience, but see if we can get this steamrolled into something big. We're depending on you. Thank you for watching. Now let us begin.
Welcome, Angry Faithful. Today on Nerd Sports, we're going to talk about dodgeball, most notably Patches O'Houlihan.
Patches O'Houlihan.
Love that movie.
Bastard. Lived a life of gonorrhea, syphilis, and died being crushed to death by a marquee at a second-rate casino.
Yeah, it'll be messed up if you ended up doing something like that. But there's actually been some messed up sports news. The most notably is the God. I had it here and it blanked out.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
NFL quarterback Dwayne Haskins dies after being struck by a truck. This happened on April 9th, last week. We get a chance to, it was like the next day when we actually got into it. So we're getting into it now.
Yeah. He was a quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. We'll get into this before we get into opening weekend of baseball.
Yeah. But he died at 24.
Yeah, 24. Let me see here. I was trying to see.
I got it up right now.
Trying to see if what there was out there about the like the circumstances around it. You said he was hit by a truck.
Oh, Dwayne Haskins of 24, and this is coming from the NPR, which I hate actually getting it from NPR. But anyways, he was 24-year-old, died after being hit by a dump truck while walking on a South Florida interstate. Haskins was walking on I-595 in Broad County for unknown reasons. Lieutenant India Manara of Florida Highway Patrol told the NPR in an email, Haskins was hit by the truck as he was trying to cross the westbound lane. Moderna. God, I messed that name first time. He was pronounced dead on scene. The fatal crash, which is an active traffic homicide investigation, was reported at 6:37 a.m.
So he's probably out for a run.
Yeah.
And the dump truck driver, do they know if the dump truck driver stopped, if they drove off? That's what I was trying to find.
I'm looking right now. No, it's not showing anything of malintent.
Well, they're not getting. Yeah, well, it's still too soon. They're not going to release any information about that because it's an ongoing investigation. So
yeah,
but
since it's only happened like a week, I mean, usually on investigations like that, you don't get any kind of information. I mean, look at that one transgender serial killer. I mean, we got a lot of information, but we didn't get that much.
Yeah. All right. So before I get into Major League Baseball's opening weekend, today was opening day for my son's Little League. For his Little League. Man, I'm excited. They won their game tonight, so they won their opener. Colin went 0 for 1 with a walk. He struck out his first at bat. Second at bat, he walked. The reason why I said he's 0-1 because if your first walk doesn't count towards your stats, it doesn't count towards your hit it doesn't count. So basically,
But the
uh,
stat, well, isn't the stat like put into the stats that he walked though?
it shows a walk, but he only had 2 at bats tonight.
Oh, okay.
So he struck out his first at bat. He worked the count full on both at bats. So I mean, he was making the pitcher work. Um, but he walked his second time up, stole 2 bases and scored a run. So he contributed to the team score. So, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. Because last year was a rough season. I mean, it was a brand new team. Uh, they didn't win any of their games last year. So, and they were getting frustrated, but they got the same group of kids coming back this year. It's a pretty good core. Uh, they don't have a lot of that fundamental fall off like you would normally see at the beginning of a new little league season when you've got a bunch of new kids coming in. So,
Much like any kind of team that's formed new and everything like that.
yeah, well, basically any kind of youth sports, unless they've been playing together, you're gonna see some ups and downs. Now, it's not to say that they weren't without their defensive errors tonight, but nonetheless, and I'm over the moon excited. It's still hard for me as a dad to sit there and not try to coach, and it's like, because I used to coach. So it's really hard, I'm just like, oh God, I have to just, I have to knuckle down and just be dad, um, but I mean, it was really nice to finally see the kids, kind of tie things together. Um, some really great plays at the plate. There was some pretty decent pitching. I mean, there were a lot of walks, but I mean, it. This one player was from the opposing team. They were on third and they were leading off, right? And they had a pretty big lead. It's almost like a suicidal lead off of third. Our pitcher picked it up, threw the ball over to third. Our third base, or the runner goes home. Our third baseman guns a strike down the line. Our catcher catches it and tags the runner out at the plate. So we were like, so we were getting, me and another dad that was there tonight. We were getting a little crazy about it, but it just, I love baseball regardless. Like I'm taking my boys to go see the Rangers play the Angels on Saturday. But it's still, I love watching Little League. I mean, because like
Yeah,
when they're
because of the innocence of the whole thing. I mean,
yeah,
every
it is. It's at that point, it's about the purity of the game, right? And I mean, when they're T-balls, when they're playing T-ball, there's like herding cats. It's hilarious to watch, right? You get these little 3, or not 3, but you get these like 6-year-olds that are out there. I mean, they're picking their nose, they're looking clouds, the ball gets put into play. Everybody on the field, including the runner, runs to the ball, and it's just like, they're just out there trying to introduce them to this great game. But then you start getting into like coach pitch where, you start seeing, okay, who can actually hit, who can actually field, I mean, who's going to be the ones that are going to hustle, who's going to be the ones that, put in the work. Because you can start seeing a little bit of an inkling, right there, at that age. And then you got to start getting into kid pitch, which Colin's been playing kid pitch for a couple of years now. So I mean, he's got some decent power. I mean, the kids, I mean, when he can, if he can tie just a couple of little mechanical ends together, I mean, he's going to be scary at the plate. I mean, he's got a monster arm. I mean, he'll sit there and throw the ball in from the fence and hit the second baseman, so I mean, he can get the ball in there. And I don't know, I'm excited to see, him stick with it. And because I mean, it's one of the bigger things that he and I connect on is just our love for the game of baseball. So but that being said, It was opening weekend for Major League Baseball. It was really nice to see people in the stands. It really was. I mean, with the exception of the Tampa Bay Rays. I mean, these people, I mean, the Rays went to the World Series 2 years ago. 2 years ago, they were in the World Series, right? And I mean, they're like division champs, but you could almost hear a freaking mouse fart in there. There was just nobody in the stands for opening day.
Aren't
And
they
see,
based in Florida?
yeah, yeah, Tampa, yeah,
That,
yeah.
that that's really surprising. So you can't blame COVID for that one.
Well, no, here's the thing. The Tampa Bay market is horrible. The only time that they pack the stands is if the team makes the playoffs because people there just don't care, at least
Mm.
in that area. I mean, if they were to relocate the team to, I don't know, actual Tampa, you know, as opposed to playing in St. Pete, because where Tropicana Field is, it's just so hard to get to. It's just out of the way. You got to drive out of your way to get to it. And it just, I mean, it's not that the Rays aren't putting a good product on the field. It's just ownership needs to buckle down and start making threats to the local area and be like, we need a new stadium. Yes, it can be domed, but no, we don't want those catwalks up in there that come into play.
Well,
Every,
usually with the
everybody that
stadiums
plays at
like that,
Tropicana, everybody that plays at the Trop, almost unanimously across Major League Baseball, they're like, this place is a dump. I
yeah.
mean, it really is.
Well, whenever you're doing something like that, it's actually the city that has to. It's weird because the owners don't actually make the field.
Yeah,
It's
I
the
know.
city
No,
that makes the field.
yeah, I know. Arlington did the same thing with Globe Life Field. I mean, that big monstrosity,
And the Cowboy
and
Stadium.
AT&T, you
Yeah.
know. But and then of course the people who live in the city of Arlington voted to say, yes, please rape me anally for property taxes, so that way you
Oh
could
yeah.
build,
Oh yeah. A lot of people were pissed off about that.
you know. And it's like, oh my God, you know.
Because
It
a lot of people like when they showed the AT&T facility, this is where Jerry Jones graped Arlington.
Yeah, he did. And then the Rangers are like, well, we want to be able to attract talent, you know, the high profile free agents to Texas to play, but they can't play in the heat because that's a big complaint. Nobody wants to pitch in the middle of July. And it's like, I remember Nolan Ryan was saying, if you're going to play in Texas and you don't want to play and you don't want to pitch in 100-degree weather, then don't play for Texas, you know? And
Yeah.
it's like, I get it, you know, but I just, they could have done a better job with designing that ballpark. They were more concerned with cramming as many concession stands and amenities into that park as opposed to, let's just take a page out of Minute Maid Park's playbook and just make the field viewable from every corner, you know. And there's a lot of people that can't see it, you know. So I don't know. I'm gonna get a pretty cool opportunity this year to be able to go catch a game at both ballparks. I'm gonna go take um, I'm going to take the boys to see Rangers versus the Angels this weekend. Um, I think in May, the Red Sox are coming to town for a 3-game set to play in Arlington. I'm going to go try to catch a game down there, probably by myself. And then in August, the Red Sox come to Houston. Well, of course, I'll be down there by then. So, and I'll have the boys. Then that'll be the last week that I've got them for my summer visitation. So, you know, that's what I'm looking at. We're gonna go we're going to go catch at least one Red Sox game at Minute Maid Park. So, but man, just the fact that baseball's back. I mean, baseball's back, baseball is back. So, we've seen,
You're so happy about that.
dude, I'm telling you, man. Okay, so over the weekend, Major League Baseball registered 127 strikeouts across all the games that were played over the weekend, right?
Mhm.
Tony Gwynn, arguably one of the best hitters to ever play the game, played for the San Diego Padres his entire career. He only struck out 127 times over his last 8 seasons.
I was looking for something. Sorry. Go ahead.
But yeah, Red Sox went to the Bronx to open up the season. Red Sox only managed to pull out 1 out of 3. So, and then they lost again today. They played Sunday Night Baseball last night. Left New York, got into Detroit at about 4 a.m, and had to be at the ballpark at 12. Actually, no, they had to be at the ballpark sooner than that because the game started at 1 o'clock today. So the Red Sox, pretty jet lagged. I mean, they were pretty wore the hell out. And then Wichita Falls' own Ryan Brazier gave up the 2-run home run to Javier Baez to put the Tigers on top. So, but the Tigers won today, beating the Red Sox 1-3. But the Rangers had their home opener today, and they lost to the Rockies 6-4. The Athletics beat up on Tampa Bay 13-2 today. The Cleveland Guardians beat the Kansas City. I can't say that with a straight face. The Cleveland Guardians beat the Royals 10-7. Padres and Giants are just getting underway. They're about to get underway out on the left coast. Miami Marlins are out there playing against the Angels. And they're in the bottom of the first. Mariners are getting blanked by the Twins 4-0 in the bottom of the 6th in Minnesota. The Washington Nationals beat the Braves, or they're beating the Braves 5-1. They're in the top of the 7th right now. The Blue Jays are beating the Yankees 3-0 in the bottom of the 8th. And the Mets are losing 4-5 against the Phillies, and that's in the top of the 9th in Philadelphia right now. So, man, I'm excited because, we've got great quality baseball being played out there.
You're like a little kid in a candy store, really.
Right. Now what we're looking at, we're seeing a lot of runs being scored because pitchers really didn't get their complete stretch out from spring training. I mean, it was an abbreviated spring training. So starting pitchers, they've adopted this kind of mantra or this way of getting stretched out to, increase their longevity during the course of a single game with a normal length, month and a half long spring training. Well, because we only had a 2-week spring training or 3-week spring training. I mean, hitters are kind of on top of the pitchers right now, and they're really kind of taking advantage of it. But these are major league pitchers, and they're going to figure it out. They're going to make their adjustments, and they're going to start getting stretched out. They're going to start getting confident in their primary and secondary pitches. And they're going to start painting corners, and they're going to start challenging guys straight up with their fastball. Like, here it is, man. I'm going to throw you my 4-seam fastball. Come and get it. And you're going to start seeing the drop off. The batting averages are going to come down. The ERAs for the pitchers are going to come down. And that's just going to be, it's going to be indicative of the checks and balances that the game kind of has built in by design. So there's something of note here. Hold on. There is a rookie out of Cleveland. He has reached base 15 times in his first 4 games, and he's done it without swinging and missing. Like every pitch that he has swung at, he's made contact on. Stephen Kwan, um, he this is his first big league season, right?
Mhm.
He records his first career triple, 2 more walks, and a little more history in a 10-7 win over the Royals on today. But with his 6 singles, 2 doubles, 1 triple, 5 walks since opening day, he has reached base 15 times in his first 4 Major League Baseball games, the most any player has logged in his first 4 career games since at least 1901. And the fact that he's done it without swinging or missing. Yeah. So what did Cleveland, what did they do? Okay. Well, he recorded his first career triple. So they talked to the Royals. They gave him third base from the game as a keepsake for his first triple.
Oh, that's cool. Here's another interesting news. Roki Asaki of Japan.
Threw a perfect game in 7 innings.
Yep.
You want to know something even cooler than that?
What's up?
Fletcher is only 18.
Yeah, I was reading that too. He's like 18. But they're like, oh, he's gonna be in the NBA, the MLB pretty soon. And I was like,
No. See, here's the thing. Perfect games are cool. There's only been like 20 something of them over out of the entire history of Major League Baseball, right?
yeah.
But the pitcher who threw the perfect game, his next start, usually doesn't do that well.
Yeah.
That's
Hey.
like watching an offense put up 20 runs, and then the next night they go out and they get shut out, or they just swing and miss at a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
There's some nights, man, where like the ball looks like a beach ball and you can't miss. And then other times it's like trying to swing and hit a paintball.
Yeah.
It's just the way that the game goes. I do want to pay a little bit of attention to the NBA. Not right now, but we're going to pay a little bit of attention to it.
I already got stuff up.
What?
I got a little bit of stuff too.
No, what's up?
No, for the NBA. So
You did homework for the show?
a little bit.
Wow.
Only because I was just curious about the Lakers.
Oh, see, I was going to give you a clap, not the clap, but one of these. But you said the Lakers, and then you just, oh, wait. Thank you for reminding me. You know what? I'm going to get into NASCAR here in just a minute. Go ahead. And as long as you're not going to, step on my toes.
No. It's something totally different from the actual news of that. This is Russell Westbrook was supposed to help a team just 2 years removed from a champion climb back to the mountain. Instead, his struggles helped keep the Los Angeles Lakers out of the playoffs. The trade was among the worst in NBA history, but even with the season over, Westbrook still refused to accept the responsibility for his part in it. Basically, they're blaming the whole thing on this Russell Westbrook and not on the actual culprit. Over to you.
Okay. Okay.
And this is where I zone out. Go ahead. Sorry.
So the Lakers have been officially eliminated from playoff contention by the Phoenix Suns. Okay. Usually not a problem. However, we have the self-proclaimed king of the NBA, LeBron the Flop James, playing for the Lakers. He took his talents to Los Angeles because, well, he wanted to wear the purple and gold. He wanted to win a lot. He wanted to win championships for the city of Los Angeles. He wanted to bring glory back to the Lakers as an organization. He wanted to be synonymous with names like Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and Dr. J. It's like, how about a whole lot of no? Why don't you just pump the brakes there, Fox and friends? Because out of all of those greats that I named that have ever played for the Lakers, to include the owner, Magic Johnson, not once do I ever recall hearing, seeing, or even sniffing the snippet of an idea that any one of those guys got up and abandoned their team at the end of before the third quarter was even over because you couldn't stomach to watch it. Well, you know what? Guess what, LeBron? I guess that it's
Even
okay.
Shaq played for the Lakers.
Yeah, he played for the Lakers when he and Kobe were winning
Yeah.
championships. But I guess it's okay to sit there all high and mighty in your ivory tower whenever you're quote unquote hurt. Well, we have men and women from all walks of life serving our country, playing other types of sports. They're getting concussions. They're tearing their bodies all to shit, and they get up right up off the deck, and then they carry on with their day. You feign cramps because somebody's got it 6 degrees too warm in the fucking arena, and you have to be carried out by a procession of the Kenyan pallbearers. I mean, come on, man, that's retarded. It's ridiculous. And yes, I said the word retarded. And if that offends you, well, then you know what, turn us off. But if not, then hey, just stick with me, because eventually I am going to make a very long-winded point here. But everybody wanted, to give LeBron this coronation that he's the new GOAT, that he's going to be better than Michael Jordan, he's better than Kobe Bryant. Well, how about you just suck a fat dick, shut the hell up and sit down and just mind your P's and Q's? Because while Kobe Bryant, I'm not incredibly sure about what his finals record was, I'm pretty sure he never bailed on his team. And then, yeah, you're sitting there putting up all these points and you're climbing the scoring record, scoring leader board or ladder. Michael Jordan went 6-0 in the finals. Never, ever lost a finals. And he did it with one fucking team. He didn't build super teams around him. He made the people around him better.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I think is the definition of a GOAT, really is.
Yeah. I mean, like Tom Brady. Okay. Dude made people better around him. Okay.
Yeah.
Case in point, Wes Welker, he was a wide receiver for the New England Patriots. They went and won a Super Bowl together, right? Wes Welker, shortly after that season, via free agency, goes and signs a deal to go play with Peyton Manning in the Denver Broncos. Wes Welker's numbers dropped off the face of the earth, and I'm pretty sure he didn't last too much longer in the NFL after that, because everybody's like, well, he was this great wide receiver in New England. What the hell happened? Well, as great as Peyton Manning is, he's no Tom Brady. You get a lot of people like, I fucking hate Tom Brady. Yeah. It's like, okay, look, this is just my opinion. It's not a dick, so don't take it so fucking hard, okay? It's, but getting back to LeBron, but you're going to get up and you're going to throw an absolute hissy fit. You're going to get up and you're going to walk out on your team. You never saw Dirk Nowitzki do stuff like that. You never saw Kobe do that. Never saw Shaq do that. You never saw any of the greats, Bill Laimbeer, Michael Jordan. You never saw Scottie Pippen get up and walk, even though Scottie Pippen's a salty ass old man who's just trying to stay relevant. A trash and Michael Jordan. Oh, good luck with that there, guy. Everybody sees through your charade.
Or even the great Kareem
Abdul-Jabbar. Yeah.
Yes.
So,
who is great in Airplane.
Oh, yeah. You drag your ass up and down a court, dragging Bill Laimbeer with you for 59 minutes a night and see how you feel. But and you tell your old man I said that. But
gotta love that movie too.
I mean, the only time that I remember Dirk Nowitzki walking off of the court was just before they beat LeBron James and the Miami Heat to win their one title. And that was because the game was already over. He had already been put on the bench. He went back into the locker room with seconds to go to collect himself before coming back out and realizing that they had just climbed the mountain to reach the summit of the NBA. You know, people in Dallas, people all over Texas are losing their frigging collective minds because, oh my God, Mark Cuban actually put together a championship team. You know, but it I've been of this mindset for a very long time. LeBron James, while he may have talent, that is irrefutable. He's a better shoe salesman than he is a damn basketball player, and certainly a better shoe salesman than he is a role model.
Yeah.
I mean, people like Steph Curry come in and they throw these like half court 3-pointers up, and it's just basic. It just makes the game boring because you get all these long range shooting kids that are like, oh my God, I want to be like Steph Curry. And then they're going out there and just like throwing rainbows up. And, you know, there's no hard nosed basketball being played anymore. Nobody wants to go into the paint. Nobody wants to drive the lane. Nobody wants to sit there and try to, you know, work the ball to open up a guy on the perimeter. You know, nobody wants to go in and get underneath to try to score those hard fought goals. And nobody definitely wants to get in underneath to fight for those hard fought rebounds on both sides of the ball, both defensively and offensively. But what LeBron James is doing is he is setting a tone of softness for the game. He is making it unwatchable. And
He really is. He is.
If I were Magic Johnson and the rest of the ownership group for the Los Angeles Lakers, I would cut my losses, and I would terminate his fucking contract and tell his ass to hit the road. Good luck finding somebody that'll put up with your bullshit to play.
He's turning it into a tap. Toxic. I'm trying to make an acronym out of it. This is the closest toxic, annoying person.
Or a toxic ass player.
Yeah, or we could do that.
Yeah, so he's a TAP, you know, and it's got nothing to do with, oh my God, you're just picking on him because he's black. You shut the fuck up. I mean,
no, because he's a horrible human being, from what I'm gathering.
Oh my God, well, he just donates to schools, you know. That's great. That's all well and good. But honestly, if I was those schools, I'd be like, all right, just give me your money. Just don't. Just be a silent donator, because honestly, at this point, we get more bad press being associated with you than anything else. You know, I mean, it's complete and utter crap. And when I saw that he got up and he walked out on his team, because I'm going to take my ball and get hand ski guys, and they're like, okay.
That'd be really funny if he actually did take the ball and just start walking away. It wouldn't surprise me. I would just be like, oh,
you know, the fact that the NBA head or front office didn't fine him for that crap, and that the team didn't fine him for that crap, just shows how weak the league and how weak that ownership group really are.
Yeah.
Because we can't upset the king.
Well, it's not that. Okay. Someone actually explained it to me a little bit easier, and this is going from anybody that actually is a star of the sports, or the star of that sport in that area. What is basically they're catering to him only because he puts butts in seats.
He doesn't even do that anymore. Nobody wants to go see this guy play. He builds these super teams of prima donnas. Look, very rarely will you see the Staples Center anything under 75% full. Why? Because the people in Los Angeles are the same mentality as the knuckleheads of New York City. They don't care how great their team is doing or how bad their team is doing. They're going to go to the game.
Yeah.
And they're going to support their team because they got nothing else going on in their lives. No, you know what? I'm going to retract that statement because that's not fair. They're going to go because they got nothing else better to do. You live in a city in an area the way that they do, that they do. But you're just going to go because what? In LA, there's an extra factor there. People go to the Lakers games to be seen.
Yeah.
Okay. You've got that celebrity star factor going on out in LA. But as far as New York is concerned, I mean, that's a generational genetic defect. My great grandfather was a Yankees fan. My great grandfather was a Yankees fan. My grandfather was a Yankees fan. By God, my dad, myself, and every one of my kids are going to be Yankees fans. And God bless their heart if they come out there and they tell me that they're a Red Sox fan, or maybe even worse, a Mets fan. I'll disown the little fucker. I mean, it just.
Have they? I'm wondering now if that actually happened. It's like, hey, you like who? Are you out of the wheel?
No fucking way you're rooting for the Red Sox in my house, fucking move out.
I know some people.
You get those like really caustic, like New York, Queens accents. They'd be like, "Get the fuck out of my house with that shit."
Now I'm kind of wondering if Bill Burr would ever do
live
that to
with
his daughter.
every fucking friends, I mean, there would be all kinds of like homophobic slurs being thrown out. It'd probably be very tragic.
Right now, I'm just hearing Bill Burr just screaming at his shit. What the fuck did you just say?
What did
No,
you just
seriously,
say?
what the fuck did you just say? Go
And
back,
then he
go
looks at the
back to
crowd
what you said about the
because
Red Sox.
You're like, no, it's wrong to beat your kids. But it doesn't mean you don't think about it.
I
Just
know.
do it because it's illegal. No, but I saw something the other day. It was talking about transgenderism, and you got that freaking knucklehead that oh, I'm a woman now, I'm gonna swim with the swimmers, and he's gonna dominate.
Which we only touched a little bit on it. We
He's
just
been losing races lately.
he only wanted to win one, just to.
Well,
But
then-
he
Then take your padded bra off and go back.
did I send you that thing of the redneck conservative or
Yeah,
the redheaded conservative?
Yeah.
That
I
was
saw
fucking hilarious.
it related to LeBron James. They were like, the only way to LeBron James is going to be relevant and reestablish some kind of like era of dominance if he changes his name to Labrina and goes to play for the WNBA.
Oh my god, that's fucking great.
I'm like, ooh, yeah, okay.
Is there any other news?
I think the NBA season, they're having a play-in tournament.
A what?
Tuesday night, a play-in tournament for the playoffs. Cleveland's going to play Brooklyn, and then the LA Clippers are supposed to be playing the Minnesota Timberwolves tomorrow night. They're looking to see who's going to pick up the 7 and 8 seeds.
Yeah, so far the Jazz is gonna go against the Mavericks. I'm only on the second part of the bracket, so
Yeah. Moving on to NASCAR. It was a pretty exciting weekend at Martinsville. There was actually a fight during the Xfinity or after the Xfinity race.
really.
Was the entitled 19-year-old grandson of Hall of Fame NFL coach Joe Gibbs, who owns Joe Gibbs Racing, decided that he didn't like being bumped and put into a wall, even though it's okay for him to do it. Just don't fucking touch my car, kind of a thing. Sam Mayer, who is an 18-year-old driving for JR Motorsports, Dale Jr.'s Xfinity team, is getting out of his car. Ty Gibbs goes over and pushes him. Okay, so Sam Mayer gets in his face. Sam Mayer flips the visor lid. Now, bear in mind, Ty Gibbs has not taken his helmet off at all. He's standing there with his helmet on. First of all, that's a soft bitch ass move. Okay. Soft ass move. If you're going to get in somebody's grill, at least be man enough to have your face ready to take the same kind of pounding that you're hoping to dish out.
Yeah.
Don't sit there and hide behind your fucking driver's helmet. I mean, seriously. So, Sam
Or
Air-
use the helmet as a weapon.
yeah. So Sam Air flips Ty Gibbs's visor up, right? Then Ty Gibbs starts just freaking throwing punches. Oh yeah, yeah, and of course, he's trying to spin it as like, yeah, I lost my temper, blah blah blah. Short track racing, and I'm like, all right. Nobody, I mean, he is making more enemies in the Xfinity series than he is making friends, and that is not going to make for a very, very fun career.
I wonder if he got any kind of blowback from that.
Of course, NASCAR's like, oh no, we're just letting the boys be boys, but then again, they're not going to touch Joe Gibbs's grandkid. Now, if the coach was half as decent of a grandparent as everybody tries to make him out to be, he'd jerk a knothole in that kid's ass.
Yeah.
They're like, you will not embarrass my team. You will not embarrass my family name. And you will damn sure not race for me if you continue. Quit bumping people. Quit expecting people to treat you fairly when you're not giving them the same, quarter. But William Byron won the Cup Series race on Sunday or Saturday night. He was the first repeat winner of this season. So we're 9 races in, 8 winners. William Byron's got 2 wins already this year. I don't know. There was a lot of people that said that the Martinsville race was kind of boring. And that was just because of the type of car that the Cup Series is running in now. It's not necessarily set up for short track. Next week is supposed to be Bristol. It's a Saturday night race on the dirt in these new cars.
That'll be interesting on the because
Well, they ran a daytime dirt race at Bristol last year with last year's car. And I mean, it was okay. It was a gimmick. I'm just not excited about it because these cars are too heavy. These are 3,000-pound race cars. They're not designed to run on dirt. They're just not.
Well, not even the tires are meant to. I mean, I presume they change out the tires too.
They run dirt tires for that dirt race.
Yeah.
But these are not designed as dirt cars. Dirt cars have articulating rear ends. They're skewed gear. The tires are different. I mean,
here's a question for that. I mean, these cars are rapidly interchangeable. Why can't they, like, if they're going on the dirt race and everything, change up the specs a little bit to do that?
With this particular generation, these cars are heavily governed, and I'm not talking about rev limiters or anything like that. Teams have the ability to alter the seat, do whatever dash displays that they want, and put their engines in. But as far as like certain like A-arms, trailing arms, stuff like that, there's a lot of pieces to this car that NASCAR watches with a fine-tooth comb.
Really?
Yeah.
That would be that's so strange.
The biggest draw of this car is the fact that it allows some of the smaller teams to afford the same type of equipment that the bigger teams can afford.
Okay.
That's why you saw Trackhouse Racing for the first couple of weeks during the season really show some dominance. And they got their first win as an organization week before last over at the Circuit of Americas down in Austin. But they've been running consistently towards the front since Daytona this year.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because of this car. They all source their parts for these cars from one place. They get hubs from this place. They get trailing arms from this place. They get A-arms from this place. They get motor mounts from this place. They get rear axles. They get rear differentials. they get oil tanks, they get fuel cells, they get, I mean, NASCAR tells them this is where you're getting the pieces for these cars. And then the template for the cars, as far as like the body style, the fender flares, the grills, things of that nature, NASCAR has it locked down. They're like, look, we're going to figure out what this car is capable of doing before we even remotely release any kind of grip on what you can do to these cars. I guarantee you a lot of the bigger teams have already got engineers trying to figure out ways to tweak these cars without them being considered illegal.
Yeah.
You live in that gray area, closer to the white side as opposed to the black side. You're living in that gray area to make these cars better without altering parts. Hey, great. But NASCAR's not screwing around. Like Brett Keselowski, he drives the number 6 car for Keselowski Roush Fenway Racing, right? Or Keselowski or Roush Fenway Keselowski, so it's RFK Racing, right? They altered a part on their car that is a single source part from NASCAR. He got docked 100 driver points, 100 10 championship points, and 100 owner points because he's part owner in that car that he drives now.
Oh wow.
And his crew chief was suspended for 4 races.
What did he alter?
A shop. I don't know. I don't know what part it was, but yeah.
Wow. Wow. I can understand that now.
Going around. If like usually they'll take like the top 3 or top 5 cars from a race and put them through tech inspection to make sure that nothing is amiss. And these technical engineers from this car tear these cars down, inspect the pieces, parts, and everything like that. And as long as the car passes post-race inspection, they put everything back together, hand it back to the team, and say, "Congratulations, you did it the right way." Because NASCAR is dead serious about having continuity and parity amongst all of the teams.
Well, that's understandable, especially for the smaller teams.
Put it back in the hands of the drivers in the pit crews to make good pit stops and that driver out there on that track, knowing how that car can handle, knowing what it can and cannot do, and putting that car where it needs to be put.
Yeah, I can understand that now.
But I don't know if I'm going to be able to go see a race this year. I'd like to, but with everything coming up, my wedding's being moved up from July to June, first part of June. I'm moving in the month of June, one way or the other.
Yes.
And then, yes, I mean, I'm fixing to, like, my backdrop. I mean, my walls are fixing to become bare. I'm fixing to start packing stuff up. I've got to go through things. I've got to minimize. Do I absolutely need this? How long has it been since I've used this? Do I even use this anymore? Where the hell did I get this? I'm breaking all my stuff down into these different categories. And if I don't need it, don't remember having it, and don't use it, and what the hell is this for? That crap's going in the trash. Or if I can donate to like the American Legion post who's having their yard sale soon, then hey, great, fine, mazel tov, woo woo, we go from there. But yeah, I hate moving. It is the absolute worst. But I need to go through my stuff, and I need to figure out. I need to re-embrace organization.
Yeah, I think I moved like 3 or 4 times in the past 2 years. Yeah.
It's so obnoxious.
It is, especially all my stuff is scattered off into the wind on certain aspects, but other than that,
material items that still are in the possession of my ex, so I would love to get that stuff back, but am I going to get it back anytime soon, if at all? I don't know. I'm not hedging my bets. I mean, we've gotten to the point now where we can have actual conversations and co-parent like normal human beings. So, I'm just taking things with that as far as that is concerned, one step at a time. But you know, I went down to Surfside Beach this weekend.
Oh, did you? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, rented a beach house. Stayed the night down there Friday night, Saturday night, and then Sunday drove back up here.
How was that?
Dude, beach houses are fun, bro. They really, really are.
I never, no, I've never been in a beach house. Of course, I never like stayed at a beach, so I never had that kind of.
Well, when we both get down there, because again, I'm being very optimistic. So, because I got an email from Dow. They had me answer some questions. I filled out the questions. I printed up a Word document. Well, I typed up a Word document rather, and sent it back to the guy that I was talking to, or that emailed me. And he replied back to me, said, "Great, thanks for the prompt response. I'll get this to the hiring manager." So we'll see.
I'm still. I am honestly like super stressed out right now because of all that. And I really want to talk about this after the episode. So if we're
Yeah.
actually done.
We'll talk about it off air, but next week coming up for high school, Texas high school football is spring ball.
We're hoping we can get the guy that does the announcements and everything like that for Old High.
No, he doesn't do the announcements. He helps with the coaching and everything like that.
Oh, okay.
He coached Pee Wee football. He's coached several Toy Bowl winning teams. He works with the Wichita Falls High School. I work with him. I'll talk to him again this week. Set up a time for us to get him on a Zoom, and we can go from there.
Are you talking about
Because I mean, if there's anybody in this town that I trust more with spring football knowledge or high school football knowledge here in the Wichita Falls area, it's going to be this guy. So, I mean, he's been doing it for a long time. He's got kids that are, he's got a kid that's going through it. He's coached numerous kids. And the
are you talking about our old boss or my old boss?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, and I don't know. I don't know. I figure we just maybe focus on football for a little, high school football for a little bit next week, just simply due to the fact that, I mean, it's basically religion in this state anyway. And I don't know enough about high school football and the way the way that it works here. So you might as well get an authoritative voice on it. So,
Yeah.
I'm going to talk to him. I already did mention it to him once last week. And he was like, yeah, I mean, he was all for it. So I'll touch base with him again, see what time's best for him, and then we can go from there. Because I know that he was at a football camp with his oldest son last weekend. So I mean, we may get him to talk about that. I'm not sure, but he'll definitely be able to drop some knowledge on it for us, and we can go in there and just kind of make, just kind of not necessarily hand the show over to him, but just really kind of let him do him.
Yeah.
For lack of a term. So yeah, I'm excited about that. And thank God the Toronto Blue Jays are projected to be very dangerous. You got a lot of people predicting that they're going to win the World Series. I'm not ready to coronate them yet. I'm not willing to put a crown on their head and say, "Oh, okay, I'm just going to hand the trophy." No. But they did beat the Yankees tonight 3-0. So the Blue Jays are going to be dangerous. So anyhow, I really don't have a whole lot Um, I know that I've been kind of absent from the Zoom/studio setting. I've been incredibly busy.
Yeah. I ended up having to do Psychos and Sociopaths by myself, which that bitch was crazy.
I haven't had a chance to listen to the episode yet.
And also I did like one TikTok, just get it. I mean, I got like,
Oh my God, Angry Meat has an actual like video with our own content on it.
yeah, it was like, I mean, on TikTok it was like 264 on High Note, which is the TikTok beta form that's coming out, which I got a couple of blue check marks already following us because of that, because they want that to be the new TikTok because it's 417 and plus.
Oh goody. So you're gonna start seeing a lot of Oscar Foxtrots on it.
There's always Oscar Foxtrots on
This is gonna be more of a kind of a uncensored version of it.
well, there's also not Tumblr, well, a beginning of Tumblr stuff.
Well, Tumblr doesn't do that anymore.
Yeah, but when they first began,
Oh yeah, that's all that it was. I mean, that's
yeah.
all that it was.
But as of right now, I mean, there's Oscar Foxtrots for TikTok, but they hide it pretty well on some of them. There's even corn's on there too. Not like, full flannel and everything like that, but I've seen some that are just basically, this is what we do.
You mean porn as in PORN?
Yeah. That we have to say
porn.
like,
oh, okay. So the band. All right, fine, whatever. All right, okay.
yeah, you have to. Okay,
just shake my head down in that north-south seeking direction and just pretend that I'm tracking.
Yeah. What they're doing right now, and this is what we'll talk about this a little bit more on like what the hell episode.
Yeah. I've got. Go ahead. I'm going to get a hold of Colin for his joke of the week.
Yeah. But what they're doing now is what they used to do for like movies and everything. Like in the 50s, they would have to they take the phone off of the ringer, so not to be disturbed, and they're going to the other room. It's implied stuff and everything like that. So
gotcha. I gotcha.
Which nowadays they actually can do. But there's so much like coded messages and everything like that.
All right. Not to interrupt you. Hey, Colin, what's up, bud?
Hi.
So I told everybody that you won your first game tonight.
Well, the first game of the season.
Well, yes. No, it's not the first time you've won a game. It's the first game of the season. You won opening day.
Yes.
Okay. So without further, are you ready? You got your joke all planned and everything like that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So without further ado, I present to you this week's weekly installment of Joke Time with Colin. Take it away, bud.
In a limbo where he walks into a bar, he loses.
What?
So a limbo dancer walks into a bar and he loses.
Okay, I get it now.
Yeah, limboer, but it's it's a limbo dancer. All right, so you got another one for us? Maybe something that's a little bit. Bro, did you really just say that?
Me?
Yeah, you. Oh, don't play like that. I know you've got it. I know you've got those kinds of jokes.
I don't got any right now. I'm tired.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll cut you a break. I will see you on Thursday, bud.
Okay.
I love you.
Love you.
Later.
Later.
That was Joke Time with Colin.
All right, everybody. Well, after that note, I'm David Dickerman.
I'm Johnny Skelton.
And this is Nerd Sports.
Episode number 52.
52.
52.
Are you going to do the victory?
I just did it.
I didn't hear it. We're going to have to work on some stuff. All right, people.
Here you go.
All right, people. I'll talk to you later.